What if the moment you think you're choosing isn't actually your choice at all? Welcome back to the main character and our series, The Nature of Reality. A journey into the strange, beautiful, and confusing experience of being alive. Every episode is a step deeper into the mystery. And the fact that you're here, thinking through this with me, genuinely means something. Today, we're exploring a question that has haunted philosophers, scientists, and probably anyone who's ever stared at a ceiling at 3 a.m. Do we actually have free will? And I'll be honest, this one gets messy. Imagine yourself standing at a crossroads. Two paths, left or right. You feel that tiny spark, that moment where you choose. But what if that spark isn't yours? In 1983, neuroscientist Benjamin Libet discovered something unsettling. When people were asked to move a finger whenever they felt like it, the brain began preparing the movement before that person became aware of it. The brain moved faster. The you showed up later to take credit. So if your brain decides before you do you actually have free will? Before going any further, I need to say this clearly. I am not a neuroscientist. I am not a philosopher. I'm just a curious human trying to make sense of the ride we're all on. I'm going to get things wrong sometimes. I'm going to oversimplify. And sometimes I'm just going to miss the target completely. But I'm learning. I'm exploring all of this with you, not at you. Take what resonates, question what doesn't, and let's figure this out together. Here's where the problem begins. Every choice you make comes from something. Your genetics, your childhood, your fears, your cravings, your trauma, your habits, just your general biology. You didn't choose any of those things, but they shape everything you do. Spinoza said it like this in 1677. The mind is determined to wish for this or that by a cause, which has also been determined by another cause. In other words, we're dominoes pretending to be dancers. Let's get back to Libet. He found the brain fires before the conscious mind decides. But in 2008, Chun Seong-soon pushed this event further. Using brain scans, he could predict a person's decision up to 7 seconds before they were aware of even choosing it. 7 seconds. That's not a delay. That's a spoiler. It suggests something wild. Your consciousness might not be the decision maker. It might be the narrator. If the brain acts before you decide, who is the you that thinks you're choosing? To answer that, we have to look at physics. Physics gives us two options. Neither are comfortable. Option 1 is determinism. Every event has a cause. Every cause has a cause. So your choices were set in motion long before you were born. You're a cosmic Rube Goldberg machine. But on the other hand, there's option 2, randomness. Quantum mechanics shows that some events are fundamentally unpredictable. So your choices are either predetermined or random. And neither one gives us the kind of free will we imagine. So where does that leave us? Here's the twist. Even if free will is an illusion, it's a useful one. Your brain evolved to create a sense of agency because it helps you to survive. If you didn't feel responsible for any of your actions, you wouldn't learn. You wouldn't grow. Honestly, you wouldn't care. Psychologist Daniel Wegner argued the feeling of choosing is something the brain generates after the fact. You're not choosing. You're being convinced that you chose. If free will isn't what we think, then what is choice? Choice is the moment when all the parts of you, your biology, your memories, your emotions, your values, they all come together and create a direction. It's not freedom from causes. It's freedom within them. You're not choosing from nothing. You're choosing from who you are. And who you are is always changing. Which means your choices can also change too. So the real question becomes, who are we becoming? If free will is limited, or maybe even an illusion, then the goal isn't perfect control. The goal is awareness. Because the more aware you are of the forces that are shaping you, the more power you have to shift them. You can't choose your past, but you can choose how to respond to it. You can choose which version of yourself you feed. You can choose the direction your story moves next. And that's enough to change everything. If this made you rethink what it means to choose, you're already choosing differently. And if you want to keep exploring the deepest questions about reality, identity, and what it means to be human, stick around. The next episode goes even deeper. And thank you for being here. You didn't have to spend your time with me, but you did. And that means something. This show isn't made in a studio with a team of experts. It's made by one curious person trying to understand reality, one question at a time. If this episode sparks something in you, the best way to support the show is simple. Share it with someone who loves big questions. A friend, a sibling, that one coworker who always gets philosophical at 2 a.m. And if you want to keep going, you're always welcome here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for thinking. Stay open, stay curious, stay human.